Welcome in. Beantown Breakdown, episode 7, presented by Boston Sports Syndicate. We're back from my last episode before I leave Massachusetts on Sunday. So, Andrew, this is the last time we're going to be they're both in Mass for quite some time.
Yeah, I've got to hold down the Commonwealth without you. It's going to be rough.
You're going to have to. But another jam-packed episode today. We got a lot to talk about Boston sports-wise. We got some good stuff at the end, too, for your Massachusetts culture portion of the episode, as always. So it should be a fun one. We got to end this on a bang right here. I'm sure we will. And I know you're eager to get into Bruins, so I'm going to waste no time with the chit-chat. I mean, Tuukka Rask is back. You told me you're fangirling over the move. I'm not surprised. What do you like about it? I mean, is this a movie?
Yeah.
I'm sure you like it, but, like, bias aside, how much does this help the Bruins?
I mean, it helps them a lot. They've actually been like the hottest team in hockey recently. So it's like a glass half full thing where you're just like, they're playing the best possible hockey they can right now. They're literally winning like every game, and they're beating like good teams and bad teams right now. Like they just put up 7 against Washington, and they just beat the Tampa Bay Lightning about a week ago. So it's like, I don't want to interrupt anything. I know Swayman was having a good year, but Tuukka Rask is back. All right. Like that alone should just help like everybody in that room and in the building going as fans, like you have your best goalie of all time. Like who is the like best, who would you say is the best like Celtic of all time?
I'd probably have to
say points wise.
I'd probably have to go with like Glenn Davis, I would say.
Okay.
Like a Glenn Davis, no. I mean probably like Bird or Russell. I mean it depends.
So think about that. Think about the Celtics in the Larry Bird days and how important he was to the team. And then he leaves, like he gets hurt and he has to have like surgery, and then the Celtics have to be without him all the next season. And then he's like, actually, screw it. I'm coming back. Like, I feel good. I was going to retire, but I'm still playing well. So I'm coming back. Like,
so you're putting Tuukka Rask on the Larry Bird scale here.
He is.
I think that'll be wildly unpopular with 80%, if not more.
I don't know how.
Boston fans.
I think Tuukka Rask is up there on the Larry Bird scale. I think.
Now that is absurd. I mean,
he's one of the.
I mean, we are. I think we're like what? Probably 3 minutes in the episode, 4 minutes in the episode, and you are hitting me with this. You're dropping this ball on me. How is this man on the Larry Bird scale?
I think the numbers prove it himself. Is Larry Bird even
Tuukka Rask has never hit 1-3. Not one.
I'll give you that one.
Not one.
But I'll give you that. But as far as is Larry Bird the leading scorer for the Celtics in their all-time history?
To be honest with you, I believe it's Havlicek.
Okay,
I think.
So it's not even.
Jesus,
so you
drop my phone.
See, this is weird because I'm gonna say, is Bird even the best Celtic of all time? Because
I think the aura surround. I mean, listen, with the Celtics, it is so hard.
Dude, the Bruins have been around since 1926. Like
exactly. Like there's been so many.
So the Celtics and Bruins have a deep history. So it's not
exactly. It's impossible. By the way, Havlicek is the leading scorer. I just googled it for confirmation. It's so hard to pick. But, like, I think when people think of the Celtics, you think of Larry Bird. And then, Larry Bird and Bill Russell, it's like a 1A, 1B type situation.
Well, what if I think of, like, Kevin McHale and KG and...
I mean, obviously great Celtics, but
Paul Pierce.
No, they're just not on the same scale as Bird and Russell. And you can throw Havlicek in that mix, too, I guess. I suppose.
All right. Well, here's my thing. I actually was looking this up last night because I had a buddy of mine arguing with me about how Tuukka Rask wasn't going to upgrade the Bruins at all. Did you know Tuukka Rask right now out of all time for goalies, which is like all time. I think a minimum of like 100 games played or something. He is tied for first all time in save percentage for a goalie
That's
with
actually
like
absurd. That's absurd.
with like Dominic Hasek and Ken Dryden, which are two of the best goalies to ever play the game. And Tuukka Rask has played 560 games, and his save percentage is tied for first of all time. That's wild stat. And then his goals against average, which is obviously like how many goals you allow like per game on an average. He's in the top 10. He's actually tied for 10th with Martin Brodeur, which is a legend again. So it's like the two stats that really matter for a goalie. He's in the top 10. And he's played 560 games, and that's like, dude's stats are telling itself. And right now, Linus Ullmark and Swayman are like in the bottom half of the league in save percentage and goals against average, the two things that Tuukka Rask is in the top 10 all time. I think he's going to help. Who knows? I hope, goodness gracious, I hope to God I hope he's good. He actually plays tonight. He starts in goal. So
he's got to be healthy. He's got to be healthy too. That's the thing, you know?
I agree. He didn't get any games in Providence last weekend because of the COVID outbreak, but like it worries me because if he comes back, has a bad game, I don't even want to tune into Felger and Maz tomorrow and listen to them absolutely destroy Tuukka.
Yeah, no, because they will.
Oh, they will. And I already hate listening to him as it is. And it's just like, I kind of heard Felger talk about it yesterday. And it was like, it was one of those things where he's like, yeah, we don't need Tuukka Rask. He sucks, blah, blah, blah. Like, why would you want him? All this. And it's just like, dude, he's the Bruins version of Larry Bird. Like, you need him. You want him. Like, the locker room wants him. Like, you can tell Bergeron and Marchand want him.
Bring up Larry Bird's name in this discussion again.
Nick, when you're tied for first in like the major goalie stat in the entire history of goalies, you might even be above Larry Bird, honestly. He doesn't have a championship. I get it. Well, he does. He has one, but he doesn't have one where he was like the guy, which I get it. But I don't think a ring defines like how good a player is. Like,
oh no,
I don't know.
I mean, because you look at all the guys that don't have rings that have played professional sports, whatever sport it be, and there's obviously a lot of unbelievable players who just never able to get a championship. You know, Larry Fitzgerald, NFL. You know, obviously
close.
Hall of Famer, very close.
But didn't Charles Barkley never get a ring?
I don't think Barkley ever got one either.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Because I think they were holding it over his head on one of the TNT sets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, see, I'm excited. Like, he's coming back tonight. That's like the major story right now. Bruins are playing well. So, like, I already know that if we lose and Tuukka lets in like 4 goals or 3 or something and we lose, like, people are it's going to be bad.
100%. I mean, Bruins, since their return, they've won 6 of 7, 31 goals through those 6 wins, 33 through those 7 games. And, you know, now that the offense is coming around, the scoring's coming around. You know, that's one thing you kind of talked about a few episodes back, how they weren't scoring. You add Rask in net in the hopes that, obviously, he's not going to allow goals, as you just hit me with those stats. You know, best, goals against average? Or save percentage?
Of all time. Save percentage.
Save percentage?
Number 1, like literally of all time.
Which is crazy.
How crazy is that? That's a wild stat. Like,
so now when you pair this, right? I mean, let's look at the next month here. You know, we're about halfway through the month now. You got the Flyers tonight, as you'd mentioned, then the Preds, Hurricanes, Capitals, Jets, Ducks, Avalanche, Coyotes, and Stars to close the month. How many games is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 games left this month. You've won 6 of 7. You're well over 500 now. I mean, do you see this team carrying this momentum into February?
Yeah, the only thing that really kind of sucks is if you go to the February schedule, there's only 4 games on the calendar because they have that 3-week break that was supposed to be for the Olympics. It's because they were going to send a bunch of NHL players to the Olympics, but then that fell through. So it's going to be interesting because I want them to be in like a really good spot before they get to that 3-week break, because they're still going to take the break because the TD Garden is in use for like concerts, events, Celtics games. Like they can't book themselves a game like in the Garden just because they're not, but they're going to do makeup games. That's actually a good thing. I was curious where they were going to do their makeup games. They were talking about doing it out in Marlboro. They were talking about doing it in Worcester. They were talking about doing it.
DCU Center action? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, whatever team plays out in Worcester. I forgot, the Thunderbirds or something.
For hockey?
Yeah, there's like a minor league team that plays out there.
I remember growing up as a kid going to Worcester Sharks games.
Yeah.
Which was like
by the way, to talk about that, that's like mass related. That is the craziest team I think has ever existed.
The Worcester Sharks?
Yes.
I think a lot of people were even more shocked by the Ice Cats.
Well, do you know why I think the Worcester Sharks were so weird?
Why is that? Because the team was in San Jose?
Because their professional team was in San Jose. Like the farthest freaking place from Worcester is where their pro team. You got to think, you're calling up a guy. Like, think about the Bruins and the Red Sox and the Celtics. Like, all their minor league teams are like in Maine and in Mass, and Rhode Island used to have them. It's
East
like,
Coast, at least. I mean, they got one in
very like
Greenville now.
very short distance. You're talking about, I got to call up this guy from Worcester. He's not going to get here in San Jose until like later way later today. Like if you call a guy up, you got to call him up like early in the morning.
Oh yeah.
I know the time difference is a thing, but think about like sending a guy back down. It's like, oh yeah, you got to go 4 hours in the future, like in freaking 6 hour, 7 hour plane ride. It's like, dude, you're losing.
It goes to show too, like the Red Sox had obviously the AAA team in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
With the Paw Sox. And they were like, okay, this is way too far. Like Worcester would be more convenient. And that was a reason for the move. Or one of the reasons.
Yeah, and Pawtucket also is kind of.
Pawtucket sucks. That's probably the other reason.
I heard the Worcester Stadium, by the way, is really nice. I really want to go.
Oh, it's bumping, man. I went once this summer, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme. I'm not gonna lie, like the navy blue.
I haven't. Maybe I'm not. It's not ringing
like
a bell.
It's like a navy blue, man. It's really similar to the Yankees colors, to be honest with you. But that's because it's polar. Yeah, yeah. I mean, take a look at the stadium when you get the chance. But it's because it's Polar Park, so it really comes down to the sponsor, and that's the thing.
What's up with the smiley face, by the way? Just because.
Well, here's a fun fact. It's also a culture fact for people that might not know it. The smiley face supposedly was invented in Worcester.
Okay.
It's also the worst, and I mean the worst mascot of all time. It has to be.
I agree. But then again, what the hell was a paw sock?
I mean, their mascot was what, a polar bear, right? I mean, their logo had the polar bear on it.
I don't know. Like I thought the paw socks was like interesting too. It's like what?
I think it was based off like a polar bear of some sort, because I think like they had a paw for their logo.
Because of the paw. Okay.
I mean, it sounds all right. Woo socks, I think, sounds fine, but like you got to change the logo. I mean, there's a smiley face running around. I think they got a girl smiley face running around too, like Wally has his sister, or Tessie.
He's got his girl, man. No, I think it's okay. Yeah.
Is her name Tessie? I think they named it Tessie.
Yeah, it's Tessie.
So they got Mr. and Mrs. Smiley running around Worcester, which is just like, I don't get it. I understand you created that, and I understand the smiley face was created in Worcester, but you have to come up with a better mascot, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to make it out there though. It's
I
want to go up to Portland too this summer and go see the Sea Dogs.
Those are good games.
Still kicking.
Those are good games. Kind of hate Portland though. I mean, I really don't.
I love Portland.
Do you actually? Great. Yeah, just not.
Love it.
It's all right. It's fine, but it's like a small scale Worcester to me.
We'll do we got to do a segment later on towards the summertime, maybe around the spring, of like better spots to try to do a weekend trip in New England,
Oh,
because we
100%.
got
That's
some
actually
strong opinions on that.
that is a great idea. We gotta go to Maine, do an episode from Maine or something. We gotta come up with something creative. So stay tuned for that, everyone. If you want to, just stop listening right now and then just tune back in June to like episode 95. Just miss the next 80 episodes and you'll be good to go. You'll get all the same substance. Don't even worry about it. Or stick around if you want. Either one. But just be there for episode 95 this summer. So it's gonna be a good one. So Bruins, you want them to have that momentum before that 3-week break. I mean, that's clear. That's what they need. You don't want to go into the break on a low note, because then that could mess with the mojo a little bit. Then you come back from the break, the hiatus, and you might carry over that bad mojo, and then things take a turnaround. But you're feeling good about this team right now. I think you have good reason to. They've been good since the comeback. And as you said, with Rask, I think that's a nice addition that helps them defensively. And if their offense is playing like it's been playing right now, they should be just fine.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy what a simple line change like will do. It's almost like I don't know, it's almost like a baseball lineup where it's like you move like the 5-hitter into the 3-hole, or whenever you moved Mookie Betts to the 1-hole when he was with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
He just went off. He went crazy. Like when they moved him from like the 3rd or 4th spot, he was terrible in the 3 spot. I think I remember like looking at his stats when I think in 2018, when he was hitting in the 3-hole, he was like terrible. But you would think he'd be better because he's driving in more runs and all that. But like he needed to hit in the leadoff spot. Like that's where he did well. And I think that's what's going on with the Bruins. It's like you had Pasternak on your top line, and it's like you move him down the second line, and bam, like now all your lines are scoring. It's freaking weird. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Nothing changed other than a simple line change, but it's working. So whatever, we'll go with it.
Another team that has surprisingly been hot, in addition to the Bruins, the Boston Celtics, starting to pick up some steam finally, perhaps. I mean, I guess you really shouldn't jump the gun with this team. Nice little 3-game win streak they've put together. 1 win over the Knicks, a couple over the Pacers, coming off their most recent win, which was last night, a 119-100 victory in Indiana. Now they're headed out to Philadelphia before a matchup at home with the Bulls to kick off a 4-game homestand. They've won 4 of their last 6. Haven't played the most impressive teams. Those games have come against the Magic, Spurs, Knicks, and Pacers. They've played the Knicks and Pacers twice. But still, 4 of their last 6. Last night they showed a good amount of heart. They hung on to a lead. It was a nice thing to see. I know a lot of people are not very high on the Pacers with good reason. They're not a great team, but they have some really good pieces. So I think taking 2 against Indiana were a couple of nice wins.
Did you know I went to the game?
I know you went to the
Monday.
game on Monday, right?
Yep, against the Pacers.
And they pulled it out in overtime.
Yeah. So, fun fact: since April of 2021, when I moved to Cambridge, I'm undefeated at Boston sports games.
Are you actually
undefeated?
That's actually a crazy stat. You need to get like a spreadsheet going.
Yeah. So I think I'm 6-0 for Red Sox games, which was wild. 1-0 for the Pats this year. Went to the Cleveland game and they dominated. And then I've been to 2 Celtics games and they both won. They like blew out the Raptors the first time I went. Jaylen Brown wasn't even playing either. And I told my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, Jaylen Brown's not playing tonight. Like, who knows? Like, we're not gonna do so hot. But they won that, and then I'm 3-0 at Bruins games. So it's like I don't know.
Fire.
And I went to a freaking Mizzou Boston College football game this year, and Boston College won. So it's like not my team, but all Boston teams are winning when I go. So.
You need to go to every single game from here on out.
I think we're done with Celtics games this year. So
Oh, great.
I don't know, but
Great.
I'm planning on going to a few more Bruins. But yeah, so the thing is though, like my thoughts from the Celtics game.
Mhm.
To get back to what you're saying, it was wild because it was like I forgot what the halftime score was against the Pacers, but like nobody was making shots, like nobody.
No.
And I remember every time Tatum had the ball, it really like watching it in person, I was more like, holy cow. And the fans obviously were booing at one point, by the way. But Tatum was not looking good until he hit that final shot. And I didn't know if this was like a common theme every game because he was getting booed by the crowd because he was forcing so much stuff up. Like, have you noticed that he's like, is he trying to take too many shots? Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't really watch like most of the game last night. So it's like,
Well, this is what I was actually going to talk to you about. Like, yeah, they're on a 3-game win streak, but what I'm nervous about is just that. Like the isolation ball of specifically Tatum, sometimes Brown. Brown's been in the zone lately, though. I mean, he's been outstanding. But yeah, Tatum, there's a lot of times where he'll have the ball with 12 to 14 seconds on the shot clock, and you'll see him just kind of dribbling at the top of the key or, wherever it may be. And you just know he's not going to pass the ball, and he doesn't, and he takes a stupid shot.
very predictable.
Yeah, with 1 to 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
So I have the stat sheet pulled up against Monday night's game. I not last night. I saw they did a little better last night. But Tatum was 7 of 21 from the field, 0 for 7 from 3. I watched that guy like jack up force like just a force 3 with like hands all like in his face like all night, and he was just bricking all night. And it's like he was 7 of 21 from the field, and then Brown was 11 for 26. So they both shot terrible. And it's like I was seeing it in person, so I guess it kind of just stuck more.
Mm-hmm.
But I know they played better last night. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like I was just watching Tatum to like force up so many threes with like 3 guys in his face. Like I'm like, why? Like he's not hitting any of these.
It happens a lot, too. I mean, I think a lot of times, yeah, Jayson Tatum is in the zone. And when he's in the zone, he takes advantage of it. But there's a lot of games where he's not in the zone, and he doesn't know when to stop. I mean, you got to stop forcing things at that moment. He's gotten a little bit better passing the ball this season, I think. You look at the assist numbers, they have been a tad better. But in those situations where you need good ball movement, you need to get the ball in the paint specifically, too. Hucking up a 3 with 2 seconds left on the shot clock after you've been dribbling the ball around for 12 seconds, it's not going to do the team any good. It's not going to do anyone any good. And it gets you in bad situations.
You know who my favorite player is now on the Celtics? He's actually been up there for a while.
Hold on, let me think here. Been on the team for a while or no?
No, like he's been on my like favorite player ranking since he got here.
All right, give me 3 guesses, okay? I'm gonna go number 1, Josh Richardson.
No,
Schroeder.
no.
One more guess, man. Is it Grant Williams?
It is not, but I do like Grant Williams.
Oh, man. I call him Grant Williams. I even call him Grant Williams when he absolutely sucked at threes as a joke. You know,
Dude, he hit a big 3 on Monday night.
Huge. Was it that corner 3?
Yes, wide open.
Huge. I mean, he's been great. He's been great.
That was one of the plays where I thought Tatum had the ball. He had 2 guys on him, like literally doubling him. And I thought he was still going to try to like chuck up something.
Well,
he found Grant in the corner. I know. I know he does. I shouldn't hate on him as much as I am right now, but it's just like after seeing like we probably should have lost that game. Like the way that Tatum and Brown both played, they didn't play that well. Like we probably should have lost that game. But Grant hit that freaking 3 in the corner. Like that was biggest shot of the night. Like I know Tatum like since it's OT and everything, but that Grant 3, like if he wouldn't have hit that, I think we were down by 4 at the time.
Yeah, it was massive.
So yeah, I mean if he would have missed that, we probably would have lost. So
who's your favorite player though? I never guessed.
Rob Williams.
That's a good pick too. That is a
I
great
love
pick.
Rob Williams.
He's
I got to
unbelievable.
watch him. I got to watch him play in college, so that's why I like him a lot. But I also got to see Grant Williams play in college, but he wasn't that good for Tennessee. He was good, but he wasn't like. I thought Rob Williams was better for Texas A&M than Grant Williams was at Tennessee. But
Grant Williams has grown a lot in the NBA too. I mean, he's grown a lot.
That Tennessee team also was like stacked. Like he was like the third option, and I think that's why like nobody really even paid much attention to him. He was a good player, but
was
like he wasn't
was that the one with Schofield on it?
Yeah, just what's his first? I forgot his name.
Admiral Schofield.
Admiral, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was him. It was Schofield.
You forgot Admiral Schofield's name.
I couldn't remember his name.
The coolest name in all of sports. It's got to be up there. It's got to be up there.
I think that corner that just declared for the NFL draft, Sauce Gardner, is up there.
No, that's a good one as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I saw that and I'm like, what the hell?
I'm gonna name my kid Sauce, I think.
Yeah, so it's like I think Rob Williams though, I think he's like the real deal. And I'm so happy that Brad Stevens or whoever it is, like saw what they saw in him to sign him to that deal, because I love Rob Williams and I want to watch him forever. And
the Time Lord. The Time Lord.
He's so young.
He is, but here's the thing. Just like you, a lot of people think the same thing about him. A lot of other teams might see him as a valuable asset. And the Celtics are probably going to be sellers at the deadline, aside from Tatum and Brown. You know, they've made it pretty clear that Brown and Tatum are going to be the centerpiece of this team. They don't want to split them up. So Rob Williams could be a nice trade piece.
No, don't say that.
It could happen. It very well could happen. I think we have to prepare ourselves for that. They've been talking about
trading Marcus Smart for like 5 years, it seems like, and he's just still here. So
he never goes anywhere. But this could be the year. Legitimately. It really could.
That Marcus Smart goes or Rob Williams?
Any one of them. Anyone besides Brown and Tatum is not safe.
Rob Williams has to be safe. He has to be.
You would hope so, but I mean you could get a lot in return for Rob Williams, I think. I really do. A package. It'd probably be a package. Like you're not gonna trade Rob Williams straight up for amazing talent. It would probably be a package, but worth watching.
If Rob Williams can net a good big man to pair with like an established like star, if you can package Rob Williams and a few others and maybe a pick or something for an established big man, I might be interested.
You'd have to.
I do love Rob Williams, but I do think if you get, I don't even know who would be a good established big to go out and get, but I think if you do and it's a superstar type player, I'm all for it.
I like that. I mean, it'll be interesting to watch as we approach a trade deadline. Something to certainly keep an eye on. So yeah, Celtics 3-game win streak, but they have a little bit of a tough schedule coming up here. Philadelphia on Friday, that's tomorrow. Chicago on Saturday, which I believe is the best team in the East. I don't care what anyone says. I think the Bulls are the best team in the East. Starting five they have, I don't think that matches anyone. I mean, obviously Brooklyn has the trio of KD, Kyrie, and Harden, but Kyrie is a part-time player right now. You know,
can I put my hand up and admit I was wrong a couple weeks ago
about Chicago?
About the Knicks, they're trash.
Oh, the Knicks? All right, fair. They are not good. I mean, last night though, RJ Barrett, 32 points? He went crazy.
Yes, but they're literally 500. They're literally the Celtics.
Yeah,
but
they're
maybe a little better. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, they're not great. So yeah, I think Chicago's the best team in the East when it comes down to it. I like the depth they have. Whatever. This is not a Chicago sports talk show. But that's just my 2 cents. Then they got the Pelicans, who are terrible. That's a 12:30 p.m. game on Monday. So a little bit of a strange time there, but is what it is. I think Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday, right? So that's probably why.
Shout out MLK.
Exactly. That's probably why they got the time change there. Then they got the Hornets next Wednesday, which is kind of an intriguing game because this Hornets offense can put up a lot of points. They don't play any defense, though, so Boston has to take advantage of that. They got Portland on the 21st, the Wizards on the 23rd, followed by the Kings, Hawks, Pelicans, and Heat. So the back half of the month, not too tough, but these next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7 games could be a little bit of a challenge. You got the Bulls, Sixers, Hornets, Blazers. If they're healthy, they can be good, but they're really banged up right now. Should be a win for Boston. And then the Wizards, a sneaky good team with Kyle Kuzma having an outstanding season. But again, depends on the availability of Bradley Beal, guys like Montrezl Harrell, and how that bench can produce. So this is going to be an interesting close to the month for the Celtics, I think. Again, like the Bruins, they need to carry this momentum into February because they have a relatively easy schedule in February. They play the Pistons a couple times, the Magic. Oh, they play the Pistons 3 times in February. So you could rack up some wins there, but got to have a good close to the month here in January. We just got Pats, right?
Yeah, I was
Biggest
gonna
game of the year.
I was gonna let you know though real quick that Brad Stevens was on Toucher and Rich this morning, and they asked him about Isaiah Thomas.
What did he say?
Quote, I'm a huge Isaiah fan, always have been. Obviously, the 10-day stuff, we had a couple of those 10 days. We actually had a few in between his that we ended up signing. I think we signed all 5 while he was with the Lakers. I've talked to him. I'm a huge fan of his and obviously following from afar. Our roster situation right now is complicated. We got to get through the next month to see where it lands and what it looks like. Isaiah is everything as everyone has made him out to be. And then they asked him, like, does Celtics need someone that bled green and played with heart like Isaiah? I think every team benefits from that, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, he didn't close the door on signing Isaiah, but I don't know why he would now. But
No, this is a good thing.
I don't know why they're asking about it.
I'm glad you brought this up before we went to Pats. Why don't you sign him?
I don't think you need him.
Just go for it. Listen. I don't think anyone is saying bring Isaiah Thomas in because of his talent. I don't think that is what anyone is saying. We know how he did in Boston, 4 or 5 years ago. I can't believe it's been, or 3, 4 years, however long it's been. 2022 now, so like 4 years ago. My God, I think the 2016-17 season was the season he really went crazy. So that was like long ago now, which is crazy. But we saw what he did there. We know he's not that kind of player anymore. But I think what he does bring is a ton of heart, which you kind of touched upon, bleeding green. And this team doesn't really have that right now. Like, my ideal deadline acquisition, if you could get one role player to bring in, it'd be Jay Crowder. The guy's great.
You love Jay Crowder.
I love Jay Crowder. He's the reason I go to Marquette right now. I mean, that is the reason I applied to that school, because Jay Crowder.
Oh, are you being serious?
100% serious.
Whoa.
I mean, he was literally my favorite player on the Celtics right around the time I was looking for colleges. And I was like, screw it, I'll apply to the college he went to. And I got in.
That is one of the craziest. I had no idea.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually DM'd him on Instagram. And I was like, hey, man, like, you are the reason I'm going to Marquette right now. And he responded. He's actually the man.
Wild.
I mean, he's great. He's great with fans. He's great with any team he's on. He embodies that team. Whatever jersey he's wearing, he embodies that jersey, which I love about him. So, like, if you could have a little reunion, that'd be fantastic. Sign an IT for a little bit. Bring Jay back at the deadline. I saw Avery Bradley had a great game the other night. I mean, these are aging guys, but they knew how to play in Boston. They knew how to win, and we saw that. And it would be great to have them back, or a couple of them. I mean, Avery Bradley, I think he's definitely past his prime. Unbelievable defender, but definitely not what he used to be when he was in Boston. But bring IT back. Like, make people happy. Give fans a reason to get invested in this team again. Because I think still, even though you're on a 3-game win streak, I think you might have lost a lot of people. I think Udoka's lost a lot of people. A lot. I know a lot of people are frustrated with this team, with good reason. Bring people back in. Sign IT. Why not? Give it a go.
I
Give it a
got
go.
no opinion on that because I don't think he's gonna really bring you any more wins or any. He's not gonna affect your wins or losses. So I don't know.
Team morale, though, man.
I got nothing. I mean, yeah, but it's like at the same time, it's like Joe Johnson was just signed. He was a team morale guy. Like he didn't really play at all, and it's like
Joe Johnson would not. Joe Johnson did not have an impact that IT would have on this team.
really because I know Tatum and Brown like literally said like we grew up watching this guy. Like
They
we
grew up.
love him
They
being on the
grew
team.
up. They grew up watching him. As did we. I mean, we saw him when he played. When he was dominant in the league. You know, he was on Boston. Um,
He's a
and
high flyer for the Hawks. Like I
yeah, I
remember
mean,
watching it. Like I feel
yeah.
like they thought that was cool. I feel like they would think the same thing. They're like, oh, like Isaiah, this is cool. All right, like can you help us drop like 30? No, okay.
But
Well,
hear me
why are
out.
you
Hear me
here?
out. Sitting at the Garden right now for any Celtics game, yeah, you got some people that are like, "Oh, I remember ISO Joe," but a lot like 16-year-old Timmy and his friends that took the commuter rail into Boston that night. They don't remember Joe Johnson. You
No,
know,
and they
they
shouldn't.
they
But
remember IT
yeah, you remember IT for like one season.
couple seasons. Let's
You
not
know
disrespect.
they literally just threw IT in the trash and said, "See you later. We're gonna trade you for Kyrie." Like
I you
they
look at
threw him in
that.
the trash.
They treated him terribly. It was
If he was
awful.
this beloved guy in Boston, they just sure didn't treat him like it because this team literally said we're shipping you off for this other cancer that we just wanted, Kyrie Irving.
I mean, they didn't. Yeah, he was mistreated, but again, I hate to use this term, like the NBA is a business. You have to make the right moves at the time. Look at how that trade worked out for Boston. Not the greatest. It could have been much, much better. But on paper, and when you look at it now, I mean, it's still, I think, is the right trade because ever since that trade, Isaiah's never been the same. You know, Crowder also went to Cleveland in that deal. He's bounced around since then. He never turned into a long-term player in Cleveland. I think the Cavs also got Ante Zizic, who I don't even know
Yep.
if you remember. Do you remember him?
Oh, I remember Zizic.
Yeah. So he amounted to nothing. And you
Nothing.
get
I thought he was gonna at least be decent, but
nothing. You get Kyrie in return, and I mean, when he was on, he was on. Celtics had some success during his tenure, but he ended up being a mess, which is a whole story for another episode. And it is what it is. But no matter what, Isaiah is always going to be beloved in Boston. No one, no one ever really hated him. No one was like, "We need Isaiah out of here. Trade him for Kyrie." It just happened, and that's how the cards fell. But bringing him back, I think, would add a lot to this fan base, to this team, and I think he'd be able to show these guys kind of how to win, how to bleed green, how to truly bleed green.
I think you're just dying on the wrong hill here. But we got to get on to the big game
We
this
got him.
weekend
Huge,
because
the huge game, the huge
it
game,
is a huge game, and it could be
the
it
last
could
game.
end. I had this realization last night. I was like sitting on my couch. It was like probably like 10 o'clock. I'm like, holy cow, like this could be the last Patriots game of the year.
Yeah,
And I don't want it to be. I'm torn on it, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm very torn on who's gonna win, what the game's gonna be like. Like I saw the weather report. The Bills are practicing inside, like so weird, but they practiced inside yesterday, which was odd because it was only like 35 degrees there or something. So that's just a Sean McDermott like thing, I guess, that he just like has no sense of anything going on. Like, we have to play the game outside. Okay. Oh, the weather's gonna be worse on Saturday than it is yesterday. Oh, wait, we'll practice inside where it's warm and we'll get used to that. No, the guy's an idiot. So like I don't know. I don't know what to expect because it's the Bills, dude. Like,
yeah.
but it's also a team that's beaten you 3 out of the last 4 times it played.
It's gonna be. This game is, I think, the hardest game to predict playoff wise right now
It is.
of all the first round
I
matchups.
think Vegas has the Bills at -4, which is like I don't understand how, because I think it's almost like a toss-up.
It is. I mean, you look at this. Listen, everyone's gonna say Mac Jones has to be good. He has to be great. La da da da, whatever. Okay, Mac Jones, I think, has to be good. But you know who has to be great, Andrew? It's a
The
defense.
defense.
The defense has to be great.
100% agree with you.
Because when this is what it comes down to. Okay, Mac Jones is a rookie quarterback. Okay, he's had a good year. But he's a rookie quarterback going on the road in his first career playoff game. As of right now, biggest game of his life or NFL career. Okay. When this defense is good, Mac Jones plays better. Whether that be a confidence thing, comfort thing, which it probably is, whatever. When his defense plays bad, the Pats really struggle to come back. And they almost pulled it off last week against Miami. Didn't. But the one thing this Patriots team has not shown you this year is the ability to come back when they're in a hole.
The only game they did this year was against the Texans, and it's the Texans. So come on.
This team has to play ahead. I think the most important element of this game is the first 3 Buffalo drives. Ideally, you want to give up no points. I would consider a win giving up a field goal. You can live with giving up a touchdown in one of the first 3 drives and no other points there. Get at least 2 stops. And I think you get into dangerous territory if you trail by 2 possessions. Say touchdown, field goal, first 2 drives. You stop Buffalo on the 3rd drive. You don't get any points on your end with the first 3 drives. That's when you start to hit the panic button.
You know what scares me the most about this Patriots team?
What?
They haven't beaten anybody this year. It's anybody worth anything.
That is true. That is very true.
If you look, they have the worst record against current playoff teams this year than anybody. They've only beaten the Bills once and the Titans without Derrick Henry.
What's the Eagles' record against playoff teams?
It's a good question, but I'll find that here. But the Patriots have only won 2 games against playoff teams, and they've lost. Yeah, I guess they're 2-3. So they weren't terrible. I guess they weren't as bad as what we think they are, but their wins are terrible. Like,
not good wins.
They beat up on the Jets twice. They beat the Texans. They had to come back from behind to beat the Texans. They beat the Chargers, which was it looks like a good win. Chargers were a decent team. Mm-hmm. They ended up obviously not making the playoffs, but they beat the Panthers, who ended up like pretty bad. The Browns didn't even like make 500. The Falcons bad. The Jags, yeah. So it's like, and they beat the Titans, but the Titans didn't have anybody. So it's like, I take it as it is, I guess. And they beat the Bills once. So I don't know. But then you look at the Bills, like the Bills didn't beat anybody either. I think they only had 2 wins against playoff teams too. So it's like, but obviously they beat Kansas City this year. That was when the Chiefs, though, were pretty bad. But the only other playoff team that they beat was the Patriots. So it's like, they lost games to the Bucs like we did. They lost to the Jags, which is crazy. They lost to the Steelers too, and they lost to the Titans when they had everybody. So I don't know. I think it's going to be. This was the only team that you wanted to play in the playoffs. I didn't want to play the Bengals. I know everybody wanted to play them. I didn't want to play them.
Well, that would be the 2nd round matchup, correct?
Yeah, but I meant like first round. They wanted to get a seed.
I know what you mean.
If the Chargers would have won, we would have played the Bengals first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would have been interesting. I mean, listen, for me, I probably would have preferred the Bengals over.
I don't know why.
Because I trust the New England defense, as crappy as they've been over the past few weeks. I still trust them more than I trust Mac Jones going against Buffalo's defense.
Would you rather play against Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, though?
That's a very tough question.
They're both great quarterbacks, but
Honestly, Joe Burrow.
why is that?
Because I think with Josh Allen, something that the Pats have struggled with, like over the past few years, especially, is mobile QBs that can scramble out of the pocket. Like, I don't know if you remember that Ravens pass game where Lamar
Oh
ran for
God,
like a
Lamar just
billion
went
yards.
wild.
Yeah, so like I think the Pats defense struggles at times when you're facing a quarterback who is not only a pocket passer, but a pocket passer that can scramble and get chunk yardage on any down.
The
Like,
fact that that guy can scramble, by the way, he's
it's
like
absurd.
6'7",
Huge.
like he's massive,
He's
and it's
huge,
not
which
fair.
makes it so hard to defend him and contain him. Like, I can see this now. On Saturday, there being a huge 3rd and 7 play. It's like 24-21. Pats need a stop. It's 3rd and 7. Josh Allen drops back. You have great coverage downfield, but the pressure doesn't get there. Pats have not had good pressure whatsoever over like the last 2-3 weeks. Okay, their last 2-3 games, no pressure. You don't get pressure on Allen. Good coverage downfield. He's gone. He's gone. And he'll probably get like 20, 30 yards.
Yeah, I've seen that. We've seen it before. I think
so that's
he's done it before.
for me. I think Allen is the better, like, two-way threat, and that's
I agree
why.
with you on the Allen thing, but I think at the same time, then you look at the Bills' offense, and they have Jamar Chase, who
The Bengals offense.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Bengals have Jamar Chase. Then you look at the Bills, and they have Stephon Diggs. So it's like Stephon Diggs is pretty good. We've done well shutting down Stephon Diggs. He hasn't killed us.
We have.
But
Someone needs to get on
Chase-
Isaiah McKenzie.
I agree with
On
it. Yeah,
Saturday.
I agree.
Please.
Well, Cole Beasley will be back, so will Gabe Davis. So who knows? I was actually I was listening to something. I don't remember what I was listening to the other. I think it might have been Toucher and Rich, but they were like, do the Bills just say screw it? Like, they get Cole Beasley and Gabe Davis, which they didn't have the last game. But they're like, do they still just put Isaiah McKenzie like on the field just because he torched us last game? Like, even though like he's their like 4th best wide receiver, it's like, or do you let Cole Beasley do the torching, or do you let Gabe Davis do it? But I don't know. It's funny. But honestly, though, compared to the Bengals, Bengals have Joe Mixon, who has run like crazy this year.
Mm-hmm.
Bills don't have anybody. They have a running back that's remotely decent. Like, I'm not afraid of Singletary or Zach Moss. They both are not that good. So they don't run the ball that much. They don't run it well either. I don't know. I think the Bills are the best matchup for us. I think the Bengals present a lot more problems, especially since they can run the ball well with Mixon. So I think this is the best case scenario for us.
I mean, hey, let's hope we have to game plan for the Bengals in a week here.
I agree.
Let's hope. As always, even when we did our podcast back in the day, Boston Sports Weekly, it's score prediction time. We don't end Pat's Talk without score prediction.
I don't think I can do this one.
You have to. I mean, there's just
I don't want to look like a bozo doing this one.
There's no other choice. You have to. It's a huge disservice to me and everyone who's listening to the show if you don't do it.
All right, I'm going 17-10.
Yeah, who? Pats? You're about to say Bills, aren't you?
The Patriots.
All right, good. Thank God. We're gonna go. I'm conjuring it up. I got to get this one right. I got it. We're gonna go 24-16 Patriots. 24-16. I like that.
I like it too.
Pats Bills Saturday night, primetime TV. Game is not on Nickelodeon. Thank God.
Thank God. I did not want to see that slime in the end zone.
No, man. I really did not want to either. I did not want to see Miles Bryant get absolutely mossed and then slime pour all over the screen.
Mossed and then literally laying on his stomach in the end zone with slime all over.
Yeah, I did not need to see that. I did not need to see that whatsoever. God, man. Like, who comes up with that? Like, who's like, hey, let's put it on Nickelodeon. Let's put a game on. Let's throw a game on there.
I have no idea, but I thought it was
Did you,
gone, but it's back.
did you ever see the video of, I think it's Larry Nance, like throws down a dunk, and then he turns into Patrick Starr?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
That was
dude, that's
stupid and weird.
top 10 video of all time. It just makes zero sense. Like, it just makes no sense. One, like, I don't know what's more insane, the fact that you like were willing to put together a Larry Nance highlight, or the fact that like Patrick Starr just magically appeared in here. So I have no idea. Andrew's video is gone, so if you're watching on YouTube, I apologize for that.
I am trying to get it back, so I don't know what's actually going on.
This man's disappeared right now. Just absolutely gone. But if you're listening on Spotify, SoundCloud, you can't even tell. So we're fine, really. We really are fine. Last segment today, Massachusetts culture. We're going to go with the best movie filmed in Boston or the state of Massachusetts. I have a strong opinion on this. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you're listening on YouTube, or go on to social media, let us know. Andrew, do you have an opinion on the best movie filmed in Massachusetts or Boston?
Yeah, can you see me now?
Can't see you now. No.
Okay, well, this is great. But yes, I'm just gonna roll with the punches here. Obviously,
Yeah, no, just go. As long as we got audio, you're good. You're fine.
So yeah, I have a strong opinion on this. I'm gonna. So you just want to go with that are actually shot here?
Yes. Or like I know some scenes are filmed in Mass, some are filmed elsewhere. Just has to have a scene.
I was gonna say, you know that movie that just dropped, Don't Look Up with Leo?
Yeah, wasn't that filmed? Where was that filmed? That was filmed.
They filmed like a lot of that here, actually,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
But that's not obviously up there, but like on my list, like, but had a good cast and everything.
Great cast.
But I will say, well, should we just rule out the basic ones? Like, are we like Good Will Hunting and all that? Like, I mean, come on.
I mean, listen, if it is your number one choice, like mine is kind of mainstream, but I
was gonna say, do you want it to be mainstream or do you want it to like kind of be like, oh, like that one?
Well, hey, this is your choice. Whatever you want it to be. I mean, we run the show here. You can throw out whatever you want to do.
I don't know. I don't want to be. Oh man, now it's tough because
You're thinking about it too much. You just gotta.
I am because it's hard to just pick one because I could watch The Town like every day.
Yeah,
probably, or I could watch The Departed every day.
Yeah.
Or I could watch Fever Pitch like every day.
Oh yeah, these are all great choices.
See what I'm saying? It's like I can't choose.
I can choose.
All right, let's let you choose.
I don't care if it's mainstream. I'm definitely going The Departed. 100%.
I love The Departed.
Between the storyline, it's an unbelievable movie. Okay, just the storyline of it. The cast is ridiculous, just absurd. I mean, you got DiCaprio, Damon, Wahlberg, Alec Baldwin's in that movie. Martin Sheen is in that movie, I believe. Oh, the lady's name escapes me.
Yeah,
the woman
I know what you're saying.
Dating Matt Damon.
I can see her face.
Yeah, I see her face too. She's in like Bates Motel.
I can see her face. I just can't think of her name right now.
I'm doing it. I'm pulling up the casting list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's one of the craziest things when I can like see somebody's name. The name's like in my mouth, on my tongue. And I just
oh my
can't
god,
say it.
I'm forgetting Jack Nicholson is in it as well.
Oh,
I don't know how.
Yeah, are you kidding me? He's one of the like main actors.
Yeah, I don't know how I forgot that. Vera Farmiga.
Okay, I definitely did not have that one on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, no. I mean, Anthony Anderson makes an appearance in that movie. I'd forgotten about that. So it's unbelievable. Unbelievable cast in that movie. That's my top one. No doubt. You're sticking with nothing, huh?
I would say, You know what? I can't pick Fever Pitch because I hate what's his name? I hate Jimmy Fallon. And the only reason I don't like Jimmy Fallon is because he's actually a Yankees fan.
Yeah, that's nauseating.
And it's very disturbing that he was the guy chosen to play the like Red Sox movie, right? It's like, why not get Ben Affleck? Why not get like, somebody who actually like the Red Sox that actually meant something to. Like, I think Jimmy Fallon did like a good job in that movie. Like, I don't think he was bad. And Drew Barrymore was my first ever like crush and like my first actress crush, believe it or not.
You had to throw that in there, of course.
In Fever Pitch, like I love like Drew Barrymore was like my celebrity crush for a while when I was young. Like, I mean, when that movie came out, I was like, what, 11, 12? I don't know.
Yeah.
So like I loved Drew Barrymore because of that movie, by the way. But yeah, I'd probably have to go to town.
Getting too far into the celebrity crush now.
I'd have to go to the town.
Go with the town. Unbelievable movie.
I have to, right? It's like it's just classic. It's everybody's seen it. Even people that don't live here love that movie. So it's like, the fact that it's you got Affleck in it, who obviously is Boston through and through.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really beat it.
Jeremy Renner, who you would think is from Boston, but he's not.
You literally like if you ask me if Jeremy Renner, like where he's from, I'd say like he's probably from Everett or wherever. No, he's not even from Mass.
Where is he from? I gotta look that up now.
I think I looked it up before. He's not from Mass.
I did too. I think he's from like California or something.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Here I am Googling Jeremy Everett by accident. Yeah, Jeremy Renner's from Modesto, California.
Yeah, definitely not Mass, but he is a Mass guy through and through.
It seems like it. It really does. Which is bizarre. I don't. They're filming like crazy amounts of things here now, like TV shows too. I know there was like a new season of American Horror Story that was filmed in Cape Cod.
Interesting.
I don't know if you heard about that. The show, filmed in Mass.
Dexter was filmed here.
The new one. They had like a spin-off series. Legitimately, like right down the street from my parents' house.
Interesting.
Crazy stuff.
You know what movie that I like learned that was filmed here and I actually never saw until this past year was Hocus Pocus.
Was it?
Yeah, it was filmed in I thought it was filmed in Salem.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I never saw it until this past year, but apparently we're in the minority. Like Hocus Pocus is like a big like hit with all the, I guess, like teenage to lower adult like female
population.
I don't know. It's weird because so I went to Salem around Halloween time, by the way, which is awesome. Like, definitely want to go during the Halloween time. That place is so cool. But Hocus Pocus 1 was filmed there, and they are filming Hocus Pocus 2 right now in Providence, of all like places. It's so weird they're like filming in Providence, but
it's a little bizarre
because you would think that Salem is like the Halloween capital of the world, which because it is. But yeah, they're filming the second one right now. But I had no idea that the first one was filmed in Salem, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, I watched it around Halloween with my girlfriend, and she was like, oh yeah, this was in Salem, Mass. I was like, no way.
I didn't know that. They should like incorporate, if you're filming a movie like that in Massachusetts. Like, that movie's what, about witches, right?
Yeah, it's about like the old times, and like there's like 3 sisters and they're witches, and yeah. It's like, it's kind of like it has something to do with like the Salem witch trials and all that stuff. Not really, it doesn't really go into that, but it's like that time period.
For the entire movie, they should have like cigarettes, hanging out their mouth with like backwards Red Sox hats on. Just make it real authentic, Yeah, I feel like that added a nice touch.
It would, but apparently it's a classic. Like, I feel like majority of the people have seen it, of what I've seen, and I was in the minority, and so are you.
I'll have to take a look this Halloween. I'll have to get on that immediately. You still have no idea what happened to your camera, huh?
So when I hit the camera button, it just mutes it.
Try hitting the mute button. I don't know. This is bizarre. This is insane.
Technology hates me.
I guess so. Do you have any closing thoughts? You're hidden, but any closing thoughts for the people listening via SoundCloud or Spotify and YouTube? People can still hear you, but
I will say, well, I wanted to also do I was going to ask you on with the movies we did. We could also do this in a later episode, but who's your favorite actor, actress from the Commonwealth?
Might as well take care of it right now. It's a lot of good ones. I mean, this is really tough. Again, it's tough because I don't want to go too basic here. I love Mark Wahlberg. I love Matt Damon. Affleck's all right.
Did you just say Affleck is all right?
He's all right. I feel like
All right.
sometimes he does too much of a stereotypical Boston character. I don't think
don't
he
know how
has.
you can
I don't
say
think
that,
he.
but
I don't think he has a lot of range in acting.
I don't know. I think you're wrong there, but I respect the opinion.
Fair. Okay. I feel like I had a really good one. Do you have one that you're dead set on while I think here?
Yes.
All right, go for it. I got to keep thinking. Who is it?
I see you asked me if I was dead set on it,
Now you're questioning.
and now I'm kind of like, wow, should I actually say this?
100%.
Screw it. I'm going John Krasinski.
No, that's a good one. I mean, he was great in A Quiet Place, and then
He was
obviously The
great
Office.
in have you seen Jack Ryan?
I haven't, but I've heard that's a great movie.
He was great in Jack Ryan. He went to Newton High School. I did not know that.
Yeah, him and B.J. Novak, I believe.
From The Office.
Yes.
I think I've heard that one.
And then I know what's her face, Mindy Kaling is also from Mass, and obviously Steve Carell. So The Office was literally just Massachusetts,
That is kind of crazy.
which isn't. Yeah, I mean it's. Man, I'm looking at a list right now to help me out here. I mean, you consider Bill Burr an
Wow.
actor? I like Bill Burr a lot.
It's kind of crazy. I'm going through I just kind of wanted to look at a few of these, and I had no idea that the lead actress in Grey's Anatomy was from Mass.
She is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Ellen Pompeo.
Oh, I've heard the name. Obviously.
Like what?
What do we have here, man?
Oh, come on. We're forgetting a big one right now.
Are we?
Oh, we're forgetting a huge one right now.
From Mass.
From Mass. Oh my God. You might have said it actually.
I said Wahlberg. I said Damon.
Steve Carell?
Yeah, I said Steve Carell.
Okay. Conquered? No idea. Also, missed another one. Captain America.
Yeah, Chris Evans. Yeah, he's from Mass.
Jeez.
Okay, I got mine. I think after looking at this list, getting some help, I think I'm gonna go with Eli Roth. Purely because of his role in Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go
Okay.
with that. Which is just it's a wild card for sure, but I'm gonna stick with it.
I had no idea Ed Norton was born here.
Yeah, I literally you look up any list of so and so from Massachusetts, the names that just come up are wild. Just people you'd never imagine.
Bro, how about your guy John Cena?
Actor though, I mean he's more a wrestler.
It says John Cena, known for Steven and Trainwreck, Danny Fisher and 12 rounds, Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad.
I mean, kudos to that man for getting an acting career going. I know he's
Come on,
played
what about your guy, Casey Affleck?
A lot of people have told me I look like Casey Affleck when he had short hair. I think he has like long hair now.
He looks like almost like he's homeless now, but
don't do the man like that. Come on now.
Yeah, but no, that's good to know. There's a lot out there to choose from, so
there's a ton. Millions, some might say. Do we have any closing thoughts from you? I know you are the guy to wrap things up.
Yeah, I mean, we covered a lot, but
a ton. I think this has been our longest episode.
I am a Tuukka Rask stan, so I'm going to die on the Tuukka Rask hill. Even if he lets up 5 goals tonight, I'm still going to be wearing his jersey while I watch the game tonight, just for, reliving the old times. So, big Tuukka guy tonight. Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about a lot in the episode, but
a ton.
Yeah, the Patriots. I'm going to Patriot Place on Saturday for the game. What better place to watch it at for an away game? So, hope you go to CBS Sports Post. It'll be a good spot. Yeah, I don't really have anything though.
That's a good day planned for Saturday. I will be watching it from home, getting ready for my flight. So hopefully it's not the last game of the season. But
yeah, when are you flying out?
Sunday morning. So, or like Sunday at like noon, but I have to leave early, obviously.
Can't believe you're leaving the Commonwealth.
Dude, it sucks, man. I always get sad. I really do. It's always tough. It's always tough taking off out of Logan and just kind of seeing Boston in the rearview mirror. It never gets easier. It really doesn't.
You're not coming back until summer?
I might never be back, to be honest with you. Who knows if I land a job where that might be. I might never be back. So this is literally Sunday might be my last day. It very well could be my last. That has not hit me, actually. I just thought of that now on the episode, that Sunday could be my last hour spent in Mass. But who knows where life takes you. That's the beauty of it all, right?
Are you actually telling me that you're never going to be back in the state?
I mean, I'll definitely be back in the state. My parents still live here for holidays and whatnot, I'm sure. But who knows, man? You never know. You never know where life's going to take you. I mean, these are good lessons to end the show on. You really do never know. I hope to be back.
Words to live by, man.
Words to live by. I obviously hope to be back, but seriously, man, you got to value every moment because you never know. Plane could crash on Sunday. Then I would definitely never be back. So I have no idea. I hope it's a safe flight, but we'll see. If there's an episode 8, you'll know the flight went well. But let's hope there is an episode 8. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Episode 7, Beantown Breakdown, presented by Boston Sports Syndicate. Go follow our socials here listed below. We'd really appreciate that. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. If you want to hop on for an episode, let us know. We'd be glad to have you to share some of your thoughts, and then we'll break them down with you. So yeah, feel free to reach out to either myself or Andrew or the show's various forms of social listed below, and we'll get something set up for you. But yeah, episode 7 in the books, my last one in the Commonwealth for quite some time, maybe forever, who knows. But we'll be back with episode 8 next week. I'll be coming to you from the great state of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. God. But yeah, we'll figure it out. So for Andrew Parker, Nick Galle, speaking at you. And until next time, guys, take care.